Opening my scripts. So what I would like to explain means, in the today's class, I would like to explain about data-driven testing concepts. Okay, let me show you the projection for the next two classes. Okay, data-driven testing. And in the tomorrow's class, we are going to discuss about Java concepts along with OOPS concepts we are going to cover, and exception handling we are going to cover, and a few more concepts we are going to cover in our tomorrow's class. Okay, so but for today I just plan to explain about the data driven testing. Okay, so what exactly this data driven testing is, why we are going for this data driven testing. Okay, so data driven testing means accessing of information present in the file, in an Excel file. Why we need to access the information? First, suppose I would like to log in into the application for 100 users. So it's not possible for me to maintain all the 100 users information over there in our test script. So that's the reason what we are doing means, okay, that's the reason what exactly we are doing means, we are, okay, what we are doing means, we are storing these users information in an Excel file. Okay, so we are storing the user information from an Excel file, and with which we are writing our programs in such a way that we can access the info present in the Excel file. Okay, we can access the info present in an Excel file. That's fine. So this is the point, guys. Okay, so the point over here is I just want to perform these kind of an actions using a data-driven testing. So first, in order to perform this data-driven testing, the first way is I can access the information using a JXL jar file. I can perform the data-driven testing using a POI jar files. I can get the information from either a text file, or we can treat it as a properties file too. Okay, text file as a separate thing, and let's treat a properties file also as a separate thing. Okay, so I can perform data-driven testing using these many methods, guys. Okay, I can perform data-driven testing using these many methods. That's fine. So let's start with a JXL jar file. While downloading the Selenium RC configuration itself, we have downloaded this JXL jar file, and even we added that file to our project too. So let's cross check whether that file is there or not. Okay, so here let me expand this W funny, and in the reference library it contains let's cross check whether JXL is there or not. JXL jar file is there. Okay, JXL jar file is there from the library folder. We have already added that. That's fine. So what are all the steps we need to perform in order to conduct a data-driven testing using a JXL file? The various steps are, first of all, create an Excel file and store the information into the file. And using a JXL jar file, we can store the information, or else we can access the information from XLS format only. So it means we need to save the file with the 2007/2003 format. Okay, whatever the file we are creating, we need to save that particular file with the 2007/2003 format. Okay, so how come this is gonna work? So create a new Excel file, and now file, save as. I'm just trying to save this file in my D drive with a name as funny, and before that I need to check the extensions as Excel 97/2003. Okay, Excel 97/2003, and then click on a save. I just saved the file, and now I am entering the information to this file as funny 1, funny 2, funny 3, so on, Samreen 1, Samreen 2, and I drag this one, and Daya 1, Daya 2, so on, drag this info, and finally Priya 1, Priya 2. See, it means in my Excel file I am storing a multiple cells of information in a single sheet. Okay, I am storing this information in a sheet 1 itself. Okay, and in my second file and my second sheet I am storing with the Madhuri 1, Madhuri 2, Madhuri 3, and I'm just dragging this info too. Okay, that's fine. Then up to here. So we perform this action. So I created a file and I saved that file, and I have returned some information to that file too. Okay, am I clear for everybody till now? And then the next step what we need to do is, guys, is this point clear for everybody? The simple step, I just created an Excel file and I saved that. Okay, and the next point what exactly we need to do is, after creating a file, now we need to call the file and we need to specify in which sheets our file is and in which cell our data is, and simply get that information. All these actions I need to perform using a Java commands. Okay, all the defined actions, the actions I need to define it in a Java commands. That's fine. See here, guys, for suppose this is my Excel file, right? So let me close this file. My intention is I would like to take sheet 1, row 1, column 1 content in my funny file. So what I need to do, first of all, we need to select the file and then we need to open the file and then go to the specified sheet and move to the specified cell and then copy the content. Right, guys? So these are the steps which we need to perform manually. Okay, even the manually and using a script also we need to follow the same steps. The steps only change whenever we are going for a manual and an automation. So it means internally these things I need to specify right now. I need to specify where exactly my file location is. I need to open my file, and then once after I open that particular file, then I need to go to a sheet. As my Excel file contains multiple sheets, I need to go to a specific sheet, and within the sheet there are multiple cells. I need to go to that particular cell and then I can access the information. Okay, that's fine. So let's try to do these activities. So the first one is, let me create a script first. So I'm creating a file with a name as JXL or else data driven JXL. Okay, now from my previous script I'm copying the code till the browser launch. Copy the code, specify here. See, now I am opening Bing.com application. Why I am opening the Bing.com application means whatever the info is there in that particular Excel file, I would like to enter that information in a bing.com search field. Okay, that's the reason I'm just going over there. So I just asked it to open the bing.com. That's fine. But now here we need to write the commands which will get the values from the Excel file. Okay, now we need to write some information which will get the Excel's information. So how can I get that particular information then? Okay, how can I get that particular information? As I told you that we need to follow some kind of a Java commands over here. So the first command is I need to specify my file location. In order to specify my file location, see here, we are going for file input stream. I am creating an object to my file input stream and I am specifying that in my D drive, my file name is funny.xls. File input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream of D drive funny.xls is a command which we are using in order to specify the in order to specify this particular information. Okay guys, so now and later the next step is we need to open the file, right? So workbook space WB is equal to workbook space workbook is equal to workbook dot get workbook of the file whatever we have created. Simply get the file whatever we have created. See a get workbook. So it will get a workbook which is defined in a FIS. In an FIS I have defined a dfunny.xls. So right now WB contains the entire Excel file info. Now I need to get the sheet. So sheet S is equal to sheet S is equal to WB. From that workbook, get the sheet which is the first sheet, or else get the sheet as a first sheet. Okay, I just mentioned it as a first sheet. Okay guys, that's fine. See, assume that I haven't specified the sheet information in a S sheet. See, what it will happen means, see here, sheet JXL workbook. So this method will return a sheet. And if you place your cursor on a workbook, see workbook JXL workbook. So it means we need to store the information in a workbook here, and we need to store the information in a sheet here. If at all we are having any confusions where we need to save, just place the cursor on a command. It is starting with either a sheet or a workbook. It is suggesting us. That's fine. So I just asked it to open my first sheet. Okay. So my Excel contains a multiple sheets. Let me open my Excel file. So my Excel file in which I am asking it to open the first sheet. In that first sheet, I would like to go for first row, first column value, which is funny one. See, the funny one is in a first row and a first column. For suppose if you observe the funny 2, it is in a second row, first column. So it means the values are changing. As per my need, I need to get the first row and a first column value. So here, from the sheet, I need to get the cell. Okay. From the sheet, I need to get the cell, the first row and a first column. After selecting the cell, I need to get the contents from that. So which is a get the contents. Whenever we place our cursor on a get contents, it is displaying as a string. So it means this method will return a value as a string. Value is equal to. Now system.out.println value. System.out.println value. That's fine. Done up to here, guys. Okay? Done up to here. Am I clear for everybody till now? Here, we used a couple of methods. Let's go back to our running nodes and let's discuss an introduction to these methods once again. Okay, I'm just giving a brief idea about these methods once again. See here, get workbook is a command which is used to get that particular file. Get the sheet is a command which we are using in order to get the sheet from this workbook. Get cell is a method which we are using in order to select the cell. Okay, here I am writing. Get cell is used to select the cell. Get the contents is used to get contents from the cell. Okay. Get the sheet will get the sheet from WB workbook. WB contains FIS. FIS internally contains funny. So this is the hierarchy, guys. So let's try to run this script and see what exactly the output it is returning. Run the script. Okay. So it is getting executed. Let's see what output it is returning to the console. Go back to the Eclipse editor. See here, one more point is, I just captured the information from an Excel file, but haven't entered that information in an application. Okay. So now, go back to our Eclipse editor. See, the Eclipse editor thrown an error message stating that array index out of bounds exception as a 1. Okay, array index out of bounds exception as a 1. So what does it mean and where it is pointing to? So it is pointing to data driven XLS of this one. So it means it is internally pointing to first of all this sheet itself. Okay. So when there is array out of bounds exception comes into a picture. So let me show you a small example, guys. I'm just creating a sample script. Okay, sample scripts. And to my sample script, see here, string a is equal to, or else not a string. I'm just going for integer itself. Int a is equal to, in an array 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So I just defined these values in this particular array, or else what we can do, what I can do, okay, int a of 0 is equal to 1 and a of 1 is equal to 2, a of 2 is equal to 3. Okay, I just defined the values to my integer. Okay, that's fine. So once I am done up to here, the next point is system.out.println a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 1, a of 2. Let's run this script once and check it out. See here, null point exception. So as we are assigning a null value, it is printing this. So is equal to 1, 2. So here, just a second. If I initialize these values so that we can simply handle this scenario. Okay. So let's run this script once. Run as a Java application. I'm just executing that. A of 0 contains a 1. A of 2 contains a 3. Hence it printed that. When I add a of 2 and run the scripts, see here, it is stating that these two values got returned. As a of 0 and a of 1 are there in an array, it printed them. As a of 2, which is a third value, is not there, it is printing an exception stating that array index out of a bounds exception. See here, it is printing an error message stating that array index out of bounds exception message. So in our previous case also we got the same message, right? So in our previous case, array index out of bounds exception. First, suppose I would like to get the information from the second sheet. So specify it as a sheet 2 and run the script now and check the error message. So, okay, so as I asked it to launch the browser, it is launching the browser. So check in the script, it will throw an error message again, array index out of bounds exception only. See, the point is, first of all, sheet 2. Why we are getting these error messages? The simple reason is, generally, in this Excel, the information using this JXL, it is retrieving in such a way that it is getting the information as, okay, starting from 0 onwards. Okay, it means the sheet number is starting from 0 onwards. The row number is starting from 0 onwards, and the column number is starting from 0 onwards. And for the getCell method, we thought that it is accepting row and a column, whereas the getCell method will accept the parameters as a column and a row. This is how this file got designed. Okay, so go back here. As I would like to access the information from my first sheet, so I need to change this value as a 0. And this parameter is a column and a row. My first column 0, my first row 0. If I change it as a 0 and a 0, it is getting the values right. Driver dot find element by dot by dot id dot send keys of value. Get the ID property for the bing.com object. So right click, inspect elements. So basically it's a WebDriver instance. That's the reason we are not bing.com. So here, let's try to identify the properties for these objects. So it is having an ID property. Copy that and paste it in your scripts. Now run these scripts. My script is getting executed right now. See, how come this is gonna work? See, I guess it opened the bing.com where it entered funny one. Okay, it entered a funny one to that particular file. If I change this row value, or else, let me change the column value first. So I changed it to my first column. Okay, I changed it to my first column. So what is there in a first column of that file? My 0th column contains a funny information. My first column contains a summary information. Okay, my first column contains a summary information. So when I run my test script, this time it was supposed to enter summary. Let's see. Run as a Java application. It was supposed to enter summary. That's fine. It is getting executed, and a summary 1 got entered to that particular file. This is the stuff. Okay, right now we are accessing the file with a single cell information, but I would like to get a multiple rows and a multiple cells. In those cases, for sure I need to use a for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than, okay, first of all, in that sheet I am getting the total number of columns I plus plus. So here in this particular case, as we are getting the columns, the column value will be I. Okay, the column value will be I. Value will be I, and the row is a constant. It means, see here, as a dot get cell of the column is an ith column, and the row I am specifying as a second row. So it means 0, 1, 2. This is my second row. Initially my column value will be 0, 1, 2 and a 3. So by that time it will return funny 3, summary 3, like that. Okay, dot get contents. Okay, as it is getting the contents, what I am doing means I am storing it in a string val is equal to, and again adding another command as a val. After entering a value, I am just removing that value too. Dot clear. Okay, I'm just removing that value too. Let's run this script and see how come it's gonna work now. It was supposed to enter all the values. See, if it is not entering, just check out your scripts. Samrin 1. Okay. It was supposed to enter the values, or it already entered them. For int value, let's rerun the script. I didn't see the output here. Let's rerun the script once. This is getting executed. Samrin. Okay, it's entering all the 4 values, guys. Okay, it entered those 4 values. Okay, so these values got printed. But by this time, I don't want to enter these values. I would like to enter Priya 1, Priya 2, Priya 3 like that. I would like to enter Priya 1, Priya 2. See here, the Priya 1, Priya 2 information is there in my 3rd row. So, go back and create another for loop for int I is equal to 0, I less than s dot get rows. This time we are getting the rows. So as we are getting the rows, the row number will be changed. So here what I am doing means from this get cell, okay, from this get cell, what I am doing means the column number is a constant, the row number is keep on changing, and I would like to enter this value in the application too. Fine. Run the same test script again and observe the difference. So what it will happen means it will enter the row 3 values are Priya 1, Priya 2, Priya 3 like that, right? It will enter all the Priya values too. Okay, let's see. That's it. So this is the way how come it's gonna enter the values. See, all the values got printed too. So this is the way how can we handle a data driven testing and implement a simple for loop. Okay, how can we handle a simple data driven testing and accessing a for loop? That's fine. The another point of what I would like to explain to you now is how can we get the information present in a text file. See, I have created a text file. Go back to the D drive. I'm just removing this file, guys. Okay, as I am done with my work, I'm just deleting this content. Funny, I'm just deleting that. Funny, I'm just deleting that. And now I would like to create a text file with the name again as a funny, and now the content is Ravi, Daya, Priya, Shriya, Samrin, Mohammed, Rajani, and Madhuri, and Kavya, Samya. So these many values I have written into that particular file. My file contains this much of information, and each and every value is separated by a delimiter as a comma. Okay. I am separating all these values by comma as a delimiter. Okay, that's fine. So my intention is I would like to write a program as of now which will get the information from that particular text file. Okay, I would like to write a program which will get the information from the text file. So how can I do that? So for which, give me a second guys, I'm just opening my reference test scripts. Okay, so data from a notepad. Okay. And here also the process would be one and the same, which is we need to specify the file location, and in order to read the file, as it is a notepad, it is a different extension. Okay, as it is a notepad, we need to follow a different extension than an Excel file. So I'm creating a new program, data driven notepad. Okay, notepad. From our previous scripts, okay, just copy the code till the browser launch and accessing the application home page, and paste it out over here. And even we have a specified a file input stream, right? Just specified the file input stream command too. Okay, file input stream FIS in my D drive. It's a name with as a funny.txt. I just specified my file name. Earlier in the data Excel file, we noticed that it's related to Excel file, hence we go for a workbook. As it is a notepad, now what I am gonna do now means I need to create a buffer reader. For the notebook, we need to specify as a buffer reader. Buffer reader is equal to new buffer reader of the file whatever we have created above. So that's fine. As of now, entire file information is in BR. If we have any doubts, whenever we type it as a BR, br.close, br.equals, br.getClass, too many methods it is displaying. br.read, br.readLine, from which I am selecting a read line method. Okay, I am just selecting the read line method, and I don't know the return type, what exactly it will return, and I just placed my cursor on a read line. It is displaying as a string, so it means we can store it in a string type of x is equal to system.out.println x. Okay, let's try to print this one. And right now I don't wanna use this one in my browser, hence I am passing my code related to a browser. I am commenting the code related to a browser. Directly I am specifying a code, getting the information. Run the file. Once we are done with our code completely, then we will go for a browser. Okay, see here, my first line in that file contains Ravi, Daya. It printed Kavya, Samya, Pinky, Rohima. Assume that this much of information is there. When I run my test script, line got read and all the information got printed. Okay, entire line got read and entire information got printed too. Okay, that's fine. Then up to here. Once we are done up to here, the another point what exactly I need to do is, see here, we are reading this line and we are storing this information in a X, right? But my X file contains multiple values. X line, X string contains multiple values. I need to split where exactly comma comes into the picture. X dot split is a 1. I'm going for comma. That's it. Okay, I'm just going for comma. So wherever comma comes into a picture, just split it and it will return a string of multiple values. So here, string of y is equal to. multiple values. And now for int I is equal to 0, I less than y dot length I plus plus. Y plus plus system dot out dot println y of I. I'm just returning all the values. Let's see now. It returned Ravi, Daya, Kavya, Samya, Pinky and Ali. Wherever comma comes into the picture, it split that. See here, below code will read only single line from the file and splitted the information till here, up to here, single line code, okay, or else code for single line, okay, code for a single line. For suppose I would like to get all the lines information, I can go for a loop where in which I'm just going for a while loop. Okay, so what exactly I'm doing in a while loop means, in the while loop I'm just defining as it is reading the information. Okay, I'm creating a string of s. Okay, so in the s we are reading that line and we are storing that, and here we are comparing that if this value is not equal to null, whatever the line information it is retrieving, if this value is not equal to null, then move into the loop. In the loop, what we are specifying, the single line code, whatever we have defined above, including the for loop, copy the codes. So just copy the code for the single line and paste it over here. Here, change it to X and change it to Z. Okay, change it to X and change it to Z. And to avoid further confusions, what I am doing means, I am commenting the single line code first of all. Okay, I am commenting the single line code till now. Okay, so here is the code for single line. I am just commenting this code. Now, when I run my program, let's see how come this is gonna work. Run as a Java application. See, all the lines information it got printed. All the lines information. See here, entire files information, everything got printed to the console, guys. Fine. Done up to here. So once after I specified up to here, the next point what I need to do. Okay. So we have splitted this information and we printed that information. Our main objective is to use this information in an Excel file. So uncomment the code till the browser launch, and then whatever the info we are printing over here, instead of printing, directly enter that value in a bing.com field. So here driver.find element by dot, but I would like to enter z of I. Whatever the z of I is there, I would like to enter that value, and even I would like to perform a clear operation. That's it. Run this script now and check it out what exactly it is performing in a browser. It printed all the information, guys. Okay, it printed all the information. Okay, so this is the thing, how can we perform data driven testing from an Excel file and as well as a notepad. So in our tomorrow's class we will see the remaining two methods, which is accessing the information from an Excel file using a POI jar file and as well as a properties file. So tomorrow I will cover this one and this one. Later we will start about the Java concepts in our tomorrow's class, guys. I'm gonna share you these test scripts. Okay, just practice this stuff from your end. We'll continue the next class, next topic in our tomorrow's class. Okay, fine then. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.